A very warm good afternoon to everyone. I am Aishwarya, Assistant Professor from School of Agriculture, Abhilashi University, Chalchok, Mandi. I forward my heartfelt thanks to the institutional authorities to provide me this opportunity to deliver this lecture on the topic biological control agents and their role in organic plant disease management. So, as we all know, there are organisms that cause diseases in plants. The main ones include fungi, bacteria, viruses, and nematodes. So, what's the problem here? These pathogens are damaging our crops seriously, and we are losing 27 to 42% of our global food production because of plant diseases. Imagine that most of what we are producing is declining. If we don't manage these diseases at all, the losses could be even worse. Now, what's the solution for this? It is to protect our crops. We need to control plant diseases. The growers use many approaches like good farming practices, whether in agronomic purpose or in horticultural purpose. Then chemical fertilizers and pesticides as well. So these chemical tools have helped us a lot in increasing crop yield over the past century. But here comes the issue that using too many chemicals can lead to pollution, impact on soil health, and health risks to human and animals also. People are becoming more health conscious, and some are even afraid of pesticides because of the information spread around. Over time, pathogens can also become resistant to these chemicals. So, what's the new direction? Now, scientists and farmers are looking at biological alternatives using living organisms to help control diseases. This is safer and more sustainable method. Plant diseases are a big threat to our food supply, mainly caused by fungi, bacteria, viruses, and nematodes. While chemicals help us to fight these diseases in the past, but their overuse causes pollution and health concerns. Now, we need safer ways like using beneficial organisms to protect our crops. So, what is biological control? Introduction to Biological Control Agent BCAs. Let us begin with the basic idea. Biological control agents or BCAs are the natural organisms like bacteria, fungi, viruses, or nematodes that are used to control pests and diseases in plants. So instead of using chemicals, we are using living organisms to do this job. A very general definition given by Baker and Cook in 1974 that biological control agent is the reduction of inoculums or disease producing activity of a pathogen accomplished by one or more organisms other than man. Biological control agents are natural organisms such as bacteria, fungi, viruses, and nematodes used to control plant and plant diseases. So basically, we are using nature to fight nature. In simple terms, we can say some helpful organisms are used to reduce the disease causing activity of harmful ones, and it's done without human chemicals. The action of parasitides, predators, or pathogens in maintaining another organism's population density at a lower average than would occur in the absence. Think of it like a natural balancing. Certain organisms, like predators or parasitides, keep harmful ones under control so they don't get out of hand. Biological control is a way of protecting plants by using helpful organisms instead of harmful chemicals. These organisms keep pests or diseases in check naturally and safely. Next, The relevance in organic farming. The biological control agents play a significant role in organic farming by offering an environmentally sustainable alternatives to chemical pesticides. In organic farming, we can't use synthetic pesticides or chemicals. So we turn to BCAs, the biological control agents, natural enemies of pests, to manage plant diseases. This method keeps our farming natural and eco-friendly. The role in plant disease management of BCAs. The biological control agents protect plants by directly targeting pathogens, enhancing plant immunity, and promoting beneficial microbial activities in the soil. Also, the global significance of BCAs, the demand of organic products has surged, creating a new or effective eco-friendly pest and disease control methods. So for this, as more people want to buy organic food or the farmer needs better and safe ways to protect crops without using harmful chemicals, that's why the BCAs, the biological control agents, are more important than even worldwide. Why these are important, or we can call as importance of biological control agents. There are some viewpoints. We will discuss upon them one by one. The first one is alternative method of disease control, or BCAs offer a natural and effective alternative to chemical pesticides. When chemicals can't be used, the biological control agents steps in as a natural solution. The second one, use of areas where other methods fail, they can be applicable in condition of locals or the locations where other disease control methods don't work. So, specifically, even when pesticides or the physical methods fail, the biological control agents can still work effectively. Next, as they work as non-toxic to human and environmental health, the biological control agents are safe for people, animal, and nature also. No harmful side effect to health or the environment is done by them. They are target specific action of biological control agents attack only on the specific pest or pathogen without harming beneficial organisms. They don't kill the good guys in the soil. The self-sustaining and easy to adapt many biological control agents can multiply and survive in the environment on their own. Once introduced, they can keep working with little help. Next, they diversify modes of action. Use various methods completing of nutrients, producing toxin, or boosting plant defenses. The smart fighters with multiple strategies. Lower risk of pathogen resistance. Unlike chemicals, the biological control agents don't usually lead to resistance in pathogens. Pests can be easily get used by the biological control agents. They are also cost effective as they are cheaper in long term run and they are relying or expensive they are relying on the expensive pesticides also. Save money while protecting crops. They are having their long term effects also as once established it can provide long lasting protection. They stay in the system and keep helpful over the time. The biological control agents are safe, natural, sustainable, specific, and cost-effective tools for managing the plant diseases ideal for organic and eco-friendly farming. Next, the types of biological control agents, BCAs. The first one we will characterize as the beneficial bacteria, as for example, the Pseudomonas species and Bacillus species and the Agrobacterium species. So basically their function is, these bacteria help plants in two ways. by directly fighting against pathogens through the production of antibiotics or enzymes that break down harmful organisms, or by forming beneficial relationships with plants that enhance their growth and improve resistance to disease. And while we are talking about their mode of action, so they complete, they compete, complete the life cycles of the plant safely and compete with pathogens for nutrients, limiting pathogen growth, as well as they produce antimicrobial compounds that suppress harmful microbes, and they generate the induced systemic resistance in plants, which means they trigger the plant's natural defense system, making it more resistant to future attacks. The second classification, which we will take it as, is fungi, the group of fungi. For example, the Trichoderma species, Vivaria bassiana, etc. They function as some fungi directly parasitize pests or pathogens, weakening their cell walls or killing them. Otherwise, they decompose the organic matter, which enriches the soil and improves the plant health. Their mode of action works as parasitism of pathogens. The fungus attacks and penetrates disease-causing organisms, as well as they produce the enzymes. The enzymes which are released by them, they break down the fungal cell walls effectively by killing the harmful fungi. The secretion of volatile organic compounds, VOCs, these act like natural chemicals in the soil, suppressing pathogens and improving the soil ecology. So moving forward, the third classification, which is the viruses group. For example, baculoviruses used against the insect pest. And they also functions as some fungi, directly parasitic fungi, or we can call as the viruses. The viruses group, the viruses, particularly baculoviruses, are valuable biocontrol agents because they are very specific to insect pests. They infect and kill harmful insect larvae without affecting other organisms, making them an environmentally safe option for pest control. As well as the baculoviruses are highly specific, they infect only insect pests and do not harm plants, nor the animals or the beneficial organisms. Once inside the insect larvae, the viruses multiplies, eventually they kills the pest. While their mode of infection works as the viruses infect pest larvae, causing disease and death, as well as effectively reducing the pest population. Moving forward, the fourth classification as the nematodes, the group of nematodes. Nematodes like Citerinema and Hetracebidesis are used as biocontrol agents against soil pests. They penetrate insect larvae and release symbiotic bacteria, which kill the host. This makes them powerful natural enemies of grubs and root feeding insects without harming the plants or the humans. They function as these nematodes are parasitic in nature. They attack and kill soil developing insects, pests such as grubs and roots, weevils, helping the pest management. Their mode of action works as the nematodes actively scourge the insect larvae in the soil and kill that host. Next, we will talk about the mode of action of all these agents. We are talking about the fungi group, the bacteria group, the nematode group, as well as the viruses. So, the direct mechanism of these agents are the direct lysis or killing of pathogen by biocontrol agents work upon two systems. First one is antibiosis and parasitism. So what is antibiosis? The biological control agent produces antibiosis or toxic substances that inhibit or kill the pathogen. For example, Pseudomonas fluorescens produces antibiosis that suppress fungal pathogens. And in case of parasitism, the BCAs directly parasitize the pathogen. For example, trichoderma fungi coil around harmful fungi and degrade the cell walls eventually by killing them. On the other hand, we are talking about the indirect mechanism. So, in indirect mechanism of biological control agents means the pathogen is suppressed not by direct attack, but by the presence, by the activity, or by the products of the biological control agents. It has the two key points. The first one is competition. Second one is induced systemic resistance, ISR. So first of all, we will discuss about the competition. The biological control agents compete with pathogens for nutrients and space in the soil or on plant surfaces. By occupying ecological niches, they prevent pathogens from establishing. For example, beneficial bacteria like Pseudomonas species compete for iron using pseudophores. Induced systemic resistance, ISR. Some biological control agents trigger the plant's own defense system. This primes the plant to resist future infections, much like a vaccine effort. For instance, trichoderma and pseudomonas can activate plant defense pathways. Moving forward, the modes of action of biological control agents in disease control we will talk about on one of the major ways of biological control agents work is by competition. Beneficial microbes like trichoderma occupies space and consume nutrients that pathogen needs, leaving very little for them to survive. For instance, the trichoderma effectively competes with fungi like Fusarium and Rhizogotonia, which helps to reduce the soil-borne diseases. Competition for the resources acts as a mode of action for biological control agents. Next, we will discuss about the active metabolites mediated suppression by the pathogens. As we can say, another important mode of action is through microbial metabolites. Biological agents produce compounds like antibiotics, pseudophores production, enzymes, and the releasing of toxins. These active metabolites suppress or kill pathogens directly, making them key weapons in biological disease management. So, the role of active metabolites in the suppression of pathogens work as antibiotics, iron-chelating pseudophores, lactic enzymes, and the release of toxins. Next, we will talk about the antibiosis. The mechanism for antibiosis in biological control agents produce antibiotics and other secondary metabolites that directly inhibit the growth of the pathogens. For example, Pseudomonas fluorescens produces a range of pathogens like Pythium, which causes the damping of disease, Fusarium, which causes the wilt disease, and Rhizocotonia, which causes the root rot disease. Moving forward, the production of hydrogen cyanide HCN. It is considerable in the considerable number of free-living rhizophoric bacterial communities. Many Pseudomonas species are capable of generating HCN, hydrogen cyanide, by oxidative decarboxylation from direct procedures such as glycine, glutamate, or other substances. For example, production of metabolites such as HCN is the primary mechanism in the suppression of root fungal pathogens. HCN effectively blocks the cytochrome oxides pathway and is highly toxic to the aerobic microorganisms at biomolar concentrations. Next, the pseudophore production. Biocontrol agents produce low molecular weight compounds called pseudophores for the compatibility acquire ferric iron. Bacteria, especially fluorescent pseudomonas, produce siderophores that have very high affinities for iron as compared to fungal siderophores. These siderophores produce an club-like structure around the root system of the plant, which uh, which uh, which protects the plant roots by the attack of the harmful plant pathogens which are present inside or nearby the rhizosphere of the plant root. Next, we will discuss about the parasitism and the predation. Its mechanism works as some biocontrol agents, particularly fungi and nematodes, prey on a parasitized pathogen and pest, directly reducing their population. Bavaria bassiana is a predatory fungus that infects and kills insect pests like aphids, whiteflies, and beetles, etc. Next, we will talk about induced systemic resistance. Its mechanism work upon as the biological control agent stimulates the plant's immune system, activating defense mechanism that helps the plant to resist the pathogen attack. For example, the Bacillus subtilis activities systemic acquired resistance SAR in plants, boosting their immune responses against disease like powdery mildew and downy mildew. Next, we will discuss about the mode of action as degradation of pathogenic structures. As the biological control agent secretes enzyme that degrade the cell walls of the pathogen and rendering them ineffective. For example, the Trichoderma species produce chitinase, glucanases, and other enzymes that break down the cell walls of fungal pathogens like Sclerotinia and Fusarium. And one more practice is done, which is biofumigation. In case of its mechanism, some biocontrol agents release volatile organic compounds that act as natural fumigants, killing or inhibiting soil-borne pathogens. For example, Trichoderma species emit volatile organic compounds that inhibit pathogens like verticillium and rhizopotonia in the soil, reducing their harmful effects on the plants. So here in this picture, it is denoted that the healthy plant and the disease plant. As we are looking forward, as the biological control agents are releasing the antibiotic secretion, the lytic enzymes, the siderophore production, and the competition for nutrients, as well as the mechanism resolves, the beneficial microorganisms are released and they are directly provided to the healthy plant roots. The roots are taking them and protecting themselves, making themselves resistant and tolerant by making the siderophores club-like structure, which are protecting the plant roots from the pathogens which are present in the rhizospheric area of the plant. So by this production, the biocontrol agents are taking somewhat of few time for its release, but they are providing it the resistivity and the resistant methods for the upliftment of the plant root and the healthy plant. So this is dignified with this by this picture, how the plant is protected from the pathogen attack. Next, we will come as the application methods of these biological control methods. So the first one is the seed treatments, the soil amendments, the foliar sprays, and the compost teas or the microbial inoculants. The first one is by treating the seed by the biocontrol agents that will make the plant to germinate in proper condition and stimulates its root growth and the shoot growth as well. But to control the pathogen attack in the transplanting or the seedling, so we can take the transplanting and dip them inside the solutions of the biocontrol agents. The next, we can use them as the foliar sprays as the foliar occurs or the new branches are developing. Then we can spray by the biological control agents as well. And in the nurseries or we have planted or transplanted some vegetable crops, or in case of our fruiting crops, we can use the irrigation drips also, in which we can fill our suspension of biological control agents or the agents which are helpful or needful for the protection of the root of the same plant. After that, we can also do the soil drench mechanism so that the root can directly uptake the benefits provided by the biological control agents or the beneficial fungi or the virus, bacteria, etc. Now, next we will discuss about the common biological control agents in organic farming. So the first one is the Pseudomonas fluorescens. Pseudomonas fluorescens is a bacteria which controls the soil-borne pathogens and promotes the plant growth. Whether we will talk about the Trichoderma species, the parasitizes fungal pathogens and boosts the plant immunity. Next one, the Bacillus subtilis, antifungal properties and plant growth promotion is done by Bacillus subtilis. As we will talk about Beauveria bassiana, the entomopathogenic fungi for insect pest control. It is utilized for the insect pest control. Afterward, we can talk about the nematodes, which are also helping in the soil dwelling and insect larvae. Next, the challenging of using biological control agents. Obviously, if the biological control agents are providing the beneficial effects, then as they can be challenging as well also. So the first one is the variable efficacy. Environmental factors such as temperature, humidity, and soil conditions can influence the effectiveness of the biological control agents, as well as the compatibility issue is the major issue, as the biological control agents may not always work well in the combination with systemic chemicals or with the other biological agents. They can be used singly or with the other or in the composition of other some natural amendment. Then the third one is the regulatory barriers. The regulatory approval of new biological control agents can be slow, limiting their availability and use in different markets, as well as the production cost and storage of these biological control agents. Some may be expensive to produce and require specific storage condition to maintain their viability, limiting their widespread use, etc. Next, we will talk about advantages of using biological control agents in organic farming. They are environmentally safe, as the biological control agents are naturally occurring organisms, minimizing environmental pollution, and they are not harming to the not target species or the not targeted pest or the insects, as they are specific for the specific crop. Then resistance management. Since biological control agents are diverse in their modes of action, they help to prevent pests and pathogens from developing resistance, as well as the reduce of chemical use. As they reduce the chemical use, as we can say that they are slow releasing of their compounds, but they are reducing the chemical use as they are providing the long lasting effects, as reducing the need of chemical pesticides supports the principle of organic farming, preserving soil and water health. And the soil health promotion is done by the biological control agents, as the chemical pesticides, insecticides, and the herbicides are burning the soil and flourishing the microbial, the micro, and the macronutrients in the soil. The biological control agents foster beneficial soil microbiota, contributing to healthier soils and improved plant growth. They are also helping as reduce toxic reduces as the biological control. No toxic residues on food, ensuring that organic produce remains safe and pesticide free. Then we will talk about the case studies or the successive stories which have been achieved by the use of biological control agents. So the first one is trichoderma is in tomato wilt control. The second one we will discuss about the pseudomonas for rice blast suppression. And the third one we will discuss about the biological biocontrol or the biological control in greenhouse cucumber production. For the description, we will talk about the Trichoderma hazarium is a beneficial fungal also known as for its antagonistic properties against soil-borne pathogens. When applied to the tomato plants, it effectively suppresses Fusarium oxysporum, the causative agent for Fusarium wilt. The mechanism includes competition for nutrients and space, production of antifungal metabolites, and induction of systemic resistance in the host plants. And it is resulted as the significant reduction in disease incidence, as well as it also enhanced the plant vigor and the yield, and also it also improved the root development and the nutrient uptake of the root to the plant. As we can see in this picture, that the root concealer and enhance the growth and development of the roots, and it also improves the uptake of water nutrients in the plant root, and it increases the photosynthesis capability, induced improvement in growth yield and the nutrient quality of the tomato plant. In the second case study, the Pseudomonas for rice blast suppression. The Pseudomonas genera is used for the suppression of rice blast suspension. As a description, the Pseudomonas fluorescens is a plant growth promoting rhizobacterium that exhibits biocontrol activity against the Meganiphore oryzae, the pathogen responsible for rice blast disease. It produces iridophores and antifungal compounds that inhibit pathogen growth and stimulate plant defense mechanism. It resulted as up to 60% of the reduction in disease severity was observed in the field trials. And it also enhanced the root growth and the nutrient assimilation. Also improved the overall plant health and the yield of rice crop. Afterwards, the biocontrol in greenhouse cucumber production. The third case study we will discuss about in greenhouse setting, the combined application of Bacillus subtilis and Beauveria bassiana has been effective in managing both fungal diseases and insect pests in cucumber cultivation. The Bacillus subtilis acts against soil-borne pathogens, while the Beauveria bassiana targets insect pests like whiteflies, and it resulted as the reduction in the incidence of powdery mildew and other fungal pathogen diseases, effective control of whitefly populations, as well as they also decrease the chemical pesticide promoting sustainable agriculture. Afterward, we will discuss about the future prospectus of biological control agents as they are acting as advanced in microbial biotechnology, as the future progress will focus on developing improvement microbial stains and formulations. Genetic and biotechnological tools can be used to enhance the efficiency, stability, and adaptability of beneficial microbes for sustainable crop production. Whereas in the microbiome based disease management, we can talk about that instead of focusing only on individual bioagents, future strategies will involve in managing the whole plant microbiome, the microbiome, the community of microorganisms associated with the plants. These approach can lead to more effective and eco-friendly disease control methods, as well as the AI and the precision agriculture for biological development. As the precision farming or the precision agriculture, we can say it as, is a modern farming approach that uses advanced technologies like GPS, sensors, drones, satellites, and AI to monitor, or we can say to monitor and manage the crop more accurately. Artificial intelligence, like big data and precision farming tools, will help in monitoring plant health as well as predicting the disease outbreaks. And we can say that they can be applicable biocontrol agents at the right time and at the right place. This ensures the efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable disease management. In short, we can say it as the future prospects in the field lie in combining advances, biotechnology, histological microbe approaches, and modern digital tools like AI for the sustainable agricultural disease management. The conclusion, we can say it as the biological control agents play or make a vital component for sustainable plant disease management, particularly in organic farming. They offer diverse mode of action from competition and antibiotics to parasitism and induced resistance also. Despite of all these challenges like efficacy, viability, and regulatory hurdles, the biocontrol agents provide a promising solution for reducing reliance on chemical pesticides, as well as the use of biological control agents can help to enhance the soil health, promote biodiversity, and ensure the food security, food safety, or aligning with the goals of organic farming. Thank you. So this is all about this topic.